But with that, looks like we're moving on to the next match. I believe this is a Group F match, and these are two newer players who happen to fall into the same group. So it's always nice when the RNG works out that way. And I do believe these are two players who are actually quite talented, as StarZee had a surprisingly competitive match with Lev. And Mad Spy, I think, has been around in some of the Swisses and had some pretty good results there. So should be interesting to see, how these two players play and how they, do against each other.
Yeah, I haven't seen, really anything of StarZee playing. Madspy1st, I know, has played, in the you just said what they're called, and I can't remember for the life of me what the name of it is because 'cause I'm blanking.
The monthly
Swiss events.
Swisses, yeah.
Yep. So, Madspy1st definitely has some experience, at the very least, and StarZee, I've heard all of the new players are at least really good for new players, so I'm very happy to see, some new players playing.
Yeah, it's kinda funny that we're in a time where, like, people will come in and their first competitive event, they're, like, already, like, really good. It's just I don't know, you kind of expect them to be kinda terrible at first and slowly work their way up, but yeah, these players are figuring something out. They're probably paying good attention, to competitive, getting a lot of practice in, and they're coming in prepared. So,
I do
with
think
that, yeah.
calling Mad Spy First a new player is a little misleading since Mad Spy First has been around for, at least a few months for the Swiss events, but this
Well,
is the first,
I've been
big
around
event.
for over a year, and I still like to call myself a newer player. So it's everything's relative, and I think you're
If
you're
you
allowed to.
joined after me, you're a newer player. If you joined before me, you're a veteran. That's how it works.
Exactly, exactly. And I think you're always allowed to use that term when this is their first like real tournament, because
Mhm.
Swisses they're whatever. I mean they're a great way to get competitive practice without the extra stress of having to worry about like you know the outcome of those matches. But like this is like the first real competitive event where like every game like really kind of matters and you're risking elimination. So, anyways, with that, looks like the format will be is exactly the same as the previous one,
Wow, what
and
a coincidence.
yeah, yeah, I think we might as well just get right into it. So, looks like Mad Spy is going to be the first on the spy side, and he will
Wow.
be spying as Rocker in three, two, one, playing it.
Yep, just taking a bit of time at Windows. Wouldn't hate to see just an immediate timeout here, even though we are a pretty slow timeouter, but that's like courtyards one where you can get timeouts through pretty easily. But no, we're just gonna go try to get a flirt and then S2 veils. So,
Yeah, definitely. Not ideal for courtyard. Usually, this is kind of one of those venues where you don't really have to worry about your ST griefing you like that because there's a lot of conversation circles in a small area. But regardless, ST not playing nice, so about a minute has gone by and we really don't have any progress. But Ambassador did leave a nice little printable briefcase right next to us, so that could be a nice start, and we do go for it.
yeah, this is definitely like I think most of the venues here, besides Veranda, can be very forgiving with pacing, just because the missions are pretty close together. Um, so I don't hate any sort of like pacing issues early game like this, especially given the fact that the ST's just been a nuisance. Uh, so it's totally fine, but also we do need to do something.
Well, interestingly enough, the ambassador settled right next to us, and honestly, this puts us in a great position to finish fingerprints early. So yeah, and he is leaving a fingerprint on this drink, and it would not look suspicious at all if we took this next drink. But instead, Toby walks away. Did we request? No, he just came right back over to Pearls. I
I
think we might
think
be in
we're
a.
in a position. Yeah, I think that Toby can offer us in this position. It's pretty close, but given the fact that we weren't offered to at all, I think this is an unofferable position.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate because speaking of newer players, fingerprints is kind of one of those things you can just get away with against them because they're not really tracking that yet. um, that
I'm
would have
not
been a
either. Don't worry.
oh well, okay, but that doesn't go for all experienced players. I will tell you that I've gotten shot going for fingerprints many a time. Instead, just okay, going for the inspect, which we're kind of forced to go at some point on 407, and getting back in with the ST for actually the first flirt progress of the game, and
We're
going
also green for aligning, yeah.
yeah, green for loading. So getting quite a lot done at once, and yeah, I mean hitting a green
And
is
red.
pretty huge. Unfortunately, it only
Duke's
chains one
taking.
time.
Oh. Duke, who probably went to statues considering they were highlight, did take. So I thought that was going to be great, but we're just shot here.
I,
So,
that is an impressive shot from StarZee because I mean, okay, I'm going to be using the term newer players a lot, but like
yeah.
green purloins is hard enough for them to track. Contact as a purloin goes off makes it even harder for them to track. He just knew that that was us. I think he saw the fade and just yeah tracked that straight to us. So really good shot. Really good awareness from StarZee on that.
Yep. That was a great game from both players, really. Except for the fact that Flirt wasn't done for a while, but that's the ST's fault. So blame the ST.
All right, and with
Anyway, we're going into the second game of Courtyard, which you can do because you've been doing it the whole time.
okay. All right. So yeah, StarZee will be spying as Alice in 3, 2, 1. Playing it.
Yeah, let's not switch up who's doing the stuff. We're just going into a conversation, sipping and leaving, which is definitely illegal, but also definitely not going to be seen ever. So I love it. We're also just going to wipe Pearline immediately, which I also love because we're not close to it. StarZee is just already putting the pedal to the metal. StarZee is already my favorite new
Yeah,
player
I've
of
already
this tournament.
decided.
I'm so sorry to the other five.
Yeah, I've already decided I'm a huge StarZee fan. I've seen enough. I am all aboard the hype train. Yeah, going straight in for the purloin. Let's see. Yeah, ST,
We're just
you're not
pasting this.
getting away from us. We're gonna just keep following you. If we have to walk in circles the whole game, we will do that.
Yep. Yeah, no sniper's really gonna notice you walking around in circles for a while. Um, yeah, StarZee just has the Purloin they need. I don't even know if Madspy1st has noticed it because they were paying attention to. Well, Toby's Lola, so I assume we might, but probably has no idea on who could have done it. So we don't need to act fast here, in any sense of the word.
Yeah, I do kind of like this approach, like getting the early hardtail out of the way and then just kind of taking it slow after that. Because I mean, right now, sniper's probably thinking like, oh god, I'm being
And red.
rushed and I don't know who. So who looks like they're rushing, and Alice does not look like she is rushing. Um, Fortunately, we are the only one in with the real DA, but there is another conversation with a highlight, so probably the two of us are
Yeah.
going to be focused a little bit more because of that. Little unfortunate with the way the DAs were spread out there. But regardless, we have 3 missions done quite early, and we're just going straight into statues to just keep the pressure on the sniper and force them to take a shot.
Yeah, we might just get shot here because there are only two reels and we're going to Ed specs, but even then, I think that was just party luck more than anything. Yeah, it looks like we're taking the shot. Yep.
Oh my god. These
Yeah, if there were more reels, I think we get that game by very, very nicely, but just unfortunate party luck. It happens.
yeah, I mean these two players are already like kind of looking like seasoned pros with the way this played out. I mean, one that spy game was just beautiful, and finding that shot was very difficult. So well done for both players. And yeah, I mean, in terms of pacing, any newer players, if you're looking for how to do it, that's usually it. Just keep the pressure up, and it actually works out quite well. I think Calumet had the just send it approach, and it got him like a 60+% win rate in in SML. So yeah, definitely can work out.
Yep. Shout out to Calumet for being another really fun spy. Anyway, we're moving on to high rise, which you can still take because it's all you.
All right, all right. Looks like Matt Spy will be spying as one of the twins in three, two, one. Playing it. It's bling again. It's always bling, isn't it?
It is always Bling. I think somewhere there was a thing that said Bling Twin had like twice as high play rate. That was an old statistic, so I'm sure it's not like up to date anymore. But Bling Twin
That
is definitely, I think, more popular.
Yeah, that is very interesting to me, especially for people who, intentionally choose their spies, which I don't. But for those who do, I'd be very interested to know like why they would pick one twin over the other.
Banana bread.
Yeah, I intentionally don't pick the twin unless it's like a 21 guest venue or 20 guest venue
So
because
here's an interesting note. We took a very good contact. I mean, everyone was in except for Disney. StarZee did not opt to take the low light though. I wonder if he's just doing like mental lowlights or what exactly is going on there.
I'm sorry, is Disney in the party or am I
Uh,
blind?
maybe it wasn't Disney. I think maybe it was Seek. Someone was out.
Probably Sake, yeah. I was gonna say, like, I'm pretty sure Disney's out
Well,
of the
okay, so
venue entirely.
I mean, technically, I wasn't wrong. He was out, just not in the way I intended.
Yep. It was a great contact though, even if there was one lone light, which I wasn't really paying attention to that at that moment. Like that's a great early contact.
Yeah, pacing this out quite well, and hit the green flirt too. So really nice job from Mad Spy. I think we
StarZee is
requesting?
taking a highlight though, which I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know exactly what it's for. I think it's just for enter and talk, um, like Insta talk, which is a great highlight thing for like high rise.
yeah, kind of interesting to see the styles, and yeah, Kane picked up a highlight as well, which I'm not really sure why. He just took a drink, an innocent drink too. I wonder if we're just counting talks, counting flirts. I don't know. Yeah, kind of interesting to see some of the stylistic choices from the snipers. But yeah, I was kind of
Yeah.
thinking like if I'm the sniper, I'm not really looking at Mad Spy because
Ooh.
he hasn't really done a whole lot to call attention to himself at this point.
That was bucket tempos we were going past. If we managed to bounce against the Amba, I think that would have taken. But otherwise, that wasn't taken at all. It also absolutely probably wasn't seen, although it was just a little bit visible because we were a highlight. But still not a horrible idea if you're going to bounce into the Amba. We do have to bounce into the Amba, otherwise it's not going to take.
Yeah, definitely a nice try and a little unfortunate because moments like that can kind of get in your head and make you think like, oh well, no, I can't finish because sniper's staring at me. And yeah, okay, so I guess yeah,
What
StarZee
was that?
definitely saw something that he didn't like. It may have just been the bug
It
attempt.
was the bug where the arm went like so far out.
Okay,
It's
well,
a Yeah, that action priorities is what SpyParty is saying, which yeah, that makes sense. Um, yeah, yeah, that's unfortunate, but
oh, he took a bug in conversation. Okay, somehow I missed that. I think we weren't quite in range either, so yeah, that's not
yeah,
gonna take even if it did get obscured. Um,
if text was going around that way, that's an excellent bug, but otherwise, that's just something you get shot for action priorities.
I do
So
like,
rip.
yeah, I do like bugs like when you have a person between you and the amba. Like I've seen players who can pull it off, but you need to have the right angle, and that wasn't quite it. Um, so yeah, with that, let's go ahead and see what StarZee can do on the spy side with Irish in three, two, one, playing it.
We're entering combo immediately. For a second, I thought we were gonna immediately take a Perlin, but this is another place where we're not gonna get offered to. But we're gonna get a green flirt and just leave, which I love.
Yeah, those
StarZee
are
is so
always the
good,
yeah, those are the
and we're
best
getting
starts.
a green
The
Perlin
green
and leave. Let's
Purloin.
go.
Oh my god, he's a madman.
I honestly thought we were gonna get a bug on the way through there, but we're still gonna get inspects, which is great. We're putting the pedal to the metal yet again.
This is
StarZee is a madman.
Yeah, this is one of the few situations where I think it's good that we picked up a highlight because in the sniper's mind, we're gonna be like, hey, he was at statues, someone just purloined, so it's probably not him, you know, because that green has bounced around quite a bit. Finally gets taken by the ambassador. So I think we're probably going to be staring down people in this conversation.
For a second, I was like, it's got taken by someone who's holding a briefcase into conversation. And I'm like, wait a second, that's the ambassador.
Yep. Off.
Um, Perlin has been noticed. Low lights are coming out, but it doesn't seem like there's too many of them.
Yeah, pretty looking actually pretty not suspicious at all. Just taking that innocent drink there and just kind of chilling with the SDA in conversation. And even taking a sip and leaving just at the right time. So it looks like, StarZee is kind of aware of some of the etiquette. So yeah, looking like a pretty strong player. Like usually when you get Purloin done and like completely unsuspected, you're just gonna win. So let's see what happens. I think yeah, just it's just a matter of just chasing her ST down and getting that flirt finished up.
Yeah, with the early Perlin gun, you do have to be very careful of what you're doing because sniper is going to take a very like panic shot if they didn't notice Perlin. Uh, so we do have to be a little bit. This is one of those situations where putting the pedal to the metal isn't great, but we're doing it anyway, and we are looking fine. So I'm not going to question it.
Yeah, I strongly agree with that. Like you don't want to go center statues and just look like you're rushing because that's just giving the sniper reason to shoot you. Um,
I will say there was an opportunity earlier where S2 was at statues, so if we went there, managed to hit a green flirt and finish statues there, that would have been great. Because that would have happened before
yeah,
the
that
Perlin
is
was
actually a
taken.
very fair point. I forgot that we already had that one inspect in hand, so finishing that early enough might have worked out in our favor. But I think we're kind of at a point where just go with the soft tells because why not? Taking an innocent book out, getting in an innocent conversation, not really in a rush, but moments like this, you kind of don't want to wait too long because if the DA leaves conversation, he might never come back. So
Banana bread.
yeah, might want to
Oh,
just go ahead and chase that down.
this is a fake BB. Shot might come off here. We do have real to the sniper. Uh, Sniper did safety off like everyone, so we're gonna be taking a
Banana
real
bread.
BB now. I think a lot of people have left. We're the only person who's changed conversations besides maybe Pearl.
Yeah,
And we're just gonna get shot. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, really good game from StarZee. I think the only reason why he got shot there is right. So Med Spy probably didn't suspect the Purloin, and he's looking for a reason to shoot someone. Um, so the entry into the quick BB into the white BB, I think that was enough for him to take the shot because it looks like someone finishing. I think he probably could have waited to see if that triggered overtime, but regardless, I think maybe if we just taken a little bit earlier, might have gotten away with it.
Yeah, I think if we had gone into the real BB conversation instead of spending time in the fake BB conversation and B being there, I think we just probably win. Um, but overall, it's still a really, really fun and great game from StarZee.
Oh, absolutely,
With
very very high
still
quality
my
game.
favorite. Yep.
Yeah,
Still,
definitely.
yep. Favorite new player. Sorry to the other five. Uh, uh get more fun games in. I haven't watched like half of the other ones. They're all good. All of them are good.
We are huge fans
Anyway,
of all new players. But yeah, if you give us action and high quality games, we will absolutely adore you. So looks like Mad Spy is going to try to answer as Kane. Um, very great spy choice in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
ooh, that
Oh
is an excellent. Wow, that is an excellent bug.
yeah,
I'm.
that was beautiful. That's gonna work even against like a lot of good snipers. So
Mm.
kicking things right. Yeah, this is kind of similar to last game where we get a hard tell right off the bat. So let's just see like how his finish is from here. Because I mean, yeah, I mean you got all the time in the world. Just finish that flirt out, finish that contact, and yeah, I mean really up to you how to finish from there.
Banana bread.
We are gonna get contact here. There are like 4 people out, and it's a little early, but hey, we already have the bug, so shrug. Um, Real highlights coming out, which I do quite like. Um, I almost never see like fake BBs this early, so I think that's a really good time for some real lights.
Yeah, and Madspy is not wasting any time, just getting that early contact, getting the progress. And yeah, I mean, really, I think with the remaining time, you could really just probably either inspect or delegate a purloin. Inspect probably being the safer option. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what he wants to go with. Honestly, on Aquarium, there's tons of options, and really none of them are really bad. I mean, you could even, I mean, yeah, even flirt, transferred, swap are all completely viable.
Yep. Honestly, if we finish flirt here right on cooldown, I would not hate just going to one of the back statues and just swapping, and it's not going to get stared at that much because it would still be in first first few minutes. So I think
Yeah,
that would just be one.
completely agree. Like usually when someone's swapping like this early in the match, you aren't feeling rushed to take the shot because you're like, okay, even if it's a swap, I can stare them down, see if they do anything else. But yeah, if you're finishing, yeah, very strong to be finishing this early in the game. And yeah, I mean, going for early bugs like that can absolutely put you in these situations. So yeah, really well done. Nice aggression from Mad Spy, and really well done to keep up the pace after that, after getting that initial bug.
Yep. We did hit a white on our second flirt, so we are gonna have to go and get another flirt in there. I think this book's case is printable, so that's another really nice path there to victory.
Yeah, it
So,
does. So it looks like, yeah, Met Spy is basically just going all soft tells after getting that initial bug in hand. And yeah, I mean, pretty good choice. Really, really sneaky and really hard for like even good snipers to take shots when those when those are your given missions. So yeah, I think just from
yeah.
now, just gotta really just pay attention to the ambassador and just see where that where those last prints are gonna end up.
Yeah, Pearls is taking the statue print, but I'm sure there's a print somewhere that I haven't watched. So, but Mad Spy first might know where one is potentially.
Yeah, and I mean also like of course like we have that one print, but we're of course not forced to finish prints, and hopefully like that can sometimes mess with players is they'll get a little too married to the idea of finishing on prints even when it's not quite working out. So yeah, hopefully he does realize that there's art, there's plenty of finishing options here.
Yep, Mad Spy first is gonna go to this difficult printable statue. Is gonna hit it.
Oh, green's the difficult.
I don't hate it either because you could absolutely just swap there if you miss that, and it might not be shot. But we're just gonna walk away and get a spy one.
Yeah, great spy win. That's that's gonna be like that's the kind of game you don't want to see like on a daily because like who's gonna shoot that, like honestly that's like really well done.
That's the kind of game I would play, and I would be like, "This is my favorite spy game of the set because I just want it. It's so good. It's perfect. This bug, beautiful. Like you can see a tiny little hand for like one frame, and it's when you're surrounded by like 50 other people. It's great. I love it.
Absolutely. And speaking of good spy play, I think StarZee does not want to be outdone here, so let's see how he answers on the spy side as Alice. And go ahead and kick things off in three, two, one, playing it.
Yep. Alice is a really good spy, so definitely don't hate this. And we're just gonna go to bar. We are gonna demand, which I don't see done enough. Um, which is gonna give us the first drink. It could have technically been seen, but who watches for demands of all things?
Yeah, funnily enough, demand is something I only recently started doing. Because I just realized, like, especially at the very start of the game, no one's ever looking for that.
Mhm.
And if it's a full bar, it can just save you so much time. And I think it's a huge advantage to have that first delegate because, like, the if you can send the delegate to a fairly full bar, it's just so hard to ever like track where that came from.
Irish has been sent by us, by the way, which was cheese, which is yet another thing that I'm so happy about StarZee for. The list was just taken. We have gulped our drink. Madz has definitely, sorry, Mad Spy first has definitely seen the Purloin and is starting to take some lowlights, but not sure if they know who exactly was at bar.
Yeah, so some similarities to last game where we have an early hardtail done, but slight difference being is that Mad Spy can at least somewhat narrow this down and at least get a few lowlights off. So and at least also knows that a mission was in fact done. So still like a great position to be in as StarZee, but still plenty of opportunities for Mad Spy to get back into this. And it looks like we're going straight to inspec. So honestly, both of these players seem to have kind of similar ideologies as Spy. When you get that early progress, just kind of keep the foot on the gas and yeah, give yourself plenty of opportunities to finish within the time.
Yep. There's no need to go super fast here, but definitely. Oh, safety off on I believe Irish. Um, well, it was on the shark, but I think it was aimed at Irish. Um, but either way, like we've got this early progress. We're not a highlight. We don't need to do anything super outlandish or anything like that. But um, we do have to get some mission progress. Otherwise, we're just not gonna finish.
Okay, and we are going to go ahead and do an early statue finish. So, I kind of like this because usually when you finish statue inspects, like at the end, you always look like a spy, but finishing him early is pretty strong. And it looks like a Civ is actually just going to take the bullet for us. So, I think probably
I would.
someone who had been to an early bar and just was
Irish was
probably.
the list taker, so
Oh, Irish was the one who took the. Okay, so Irish was
yep.
the one who ended up getting shot.
Irish, I also think might have gotten microfilm credits. I know they were safetied off at blue. I'm not sure if they were ever at green.
Oh,
You know
Irish
what?
took a fingerprintable statue.
Oh, that was printable. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna look highly suspicious. So, yeah, that certainly worked out in our favor. And
Yeah,
yeah, even like without that Civ shot, that looked like that was gonna be a pretty strong a spy game for StarZee.
yeah. Having a lot of progress on a lot of different missions isn't exactly the same as having another mission done, but it definitely makes you nervous enough that you think I might have missed something on one of these. I'm gonna have to probably take the shot. And I don't hate the shot. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah, and like I was saying, I like the decision to kind of finish statues early because more off like most spies don't like to do that, so it always kind of looks less suspicious actually when you go for the finish earlier in the game. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to veranda. So looks like Mad Spy is going to be spying as Boots in three, two, one, playing it.
Yep. Again, like I've been saying, definitely Veranda is the hardest pacing wise of all of the venues in the set by a long shot because all the other ones you are pretty forgiving with that sort of thing. And I'm not concerned about that with these players at all because they've been doing a lot, which I really do love. Um, Mad Spy taking a book out immediately, and I can only assume that's not going backwards. So,
Right.
yep,
Yeah, I strongly agree with the pacing comment because yeah, like I mentioned, like newer players usually their biggest problem is always going to be pacing because in their mind they're like, okay, well, whenever I do things, I get shot, but yeah, I mean that's kind of the game. You kind of have to do things right. So yeah, the newer players who kind of find out that just be active, get missions done. Like usually they're the ones who usually end up finding a lot of success.
yep. I
And
do think that is 100% the biggest thing about newer players is they will get shot and they will be thinking, "Oh, I can't do this anymore because I've got shot for it like for 3 times." But that might be the thing you need to do to give yourself the maximum potential to win. You just need to know that sort of thing.
yeah,
And
100%.
we are taking the book back, which is actually surprising. Uh,
Yeah, it's a
yeah,
little surprising. The only way I can see this being a good play is when you're fishing for a low light. Like some players, if they see you hold a book for a while, put it back without really doing anything else, they will low light for that. But I feel like that requires maybe a little bit of research on your opponent. Like otherwise, you just kind of wasted a lot of time. But regardless, yeah, okay. So we go straight for the green purloin, and that is a good way to make up progress when you're falling behind a little bit because that is just a mission done.
yep. I will say that putting the book back also requires you to have a fairly good sniper, which I'm not it'd be going against a fairly good sniper, which I'm not saying either of these are bad. They're absolutely great for being new, but like that's I'm talking about like top level snipers will be the ones who will low light for that sort of thing. Purloin comes off. I'm not sure if it is noticed now, so we are going to see some low lights coming off now. But we notably, I don't think are one of them.
Yeah, I could be misremembering, but this feels like a play that we did a little bit earlier where we green Purloin and then go to a statue, and I think that's kind of a play where you are
In the end
fishing
of
for a
red.
low light because they're like, hey, I'm pretty sure I just highlighted you for being at a statue, so you probably weren't purloining, but StarZee is doing a pretty good job remembering who's been offered, so keeps us in that purloin chain, keeps us highlight.
Yep. I definitely agree. Like doing uh mission progress on one thing while another mission is getting done elsewhere is always a pretty good idea. Just
So
because
this,
one of those is that's a standing bug.
yeah, I was about to say like
Wow.
Tex was in the perfect position for us to do that behind the back bug, and I think yeah, it was even the arm that's facing away from the sniper, so you're never getting credit for that bug unless unless the sniper is just like a genius. Yeah. So I think we completely got away with that bug scot free, even as
Yep.
a highlight.
That being said, we do have only 45 seconds left and 22% flirt, so I think we might actually just have to inspect swap here, unless we think we can get flirt done in that time. And Madspy1st is going to agree. We're going to get a green swap. We do get safetied off anyway, but it's noted that it isn't a swap, at least not yet. I think we're probably, yeah. Not even waiting for Duke to pick up.
Yeah, really nice spy game regardless for Mad Spy, and that I want to say like really impressive green rate from these players.
Mhm.
That like feels like Mad Spy has been greening like everything that they want to so far,
I think
and
that these players were greening about the same rate that Yash was waiting the last set. So definitely agree. Yeah, I think it's a small thing, but the fact that we swapped here is absolutely like great potential there of knowing I have screwed up on flirt and I need to do something else. And I think that is great. I think that Madspy1st definitely has the potential to uh
yeah, we were
know
actually
that.
being stared down during that behind the back bug. Actually, I'm just seeing that on the replay.
Hmm.
So that might have actually been what got us shot, even though I think that was a great bug, and you should go for
Hmm.
those when they present themselves. Um,
Yeah. I given the time that had to be the thing we did. The green bookshelf stuff definitely put us behind a little bit on pacing, but we definitely made up for it, I think.
and yeah, I
We got
agree.
shot, but
I like the swap, and I even like that it was a green swap on the back statues because like an AI can just body block it for you while you're doing something else. So it's really nice try. I think StarZee was just on top of him, from
yep.
other moments in the game. And
Speaking
with
of
that,
StarZee.
speaking of StarZee, let's see what StarZee will do as red dress in 3, 2, 1, playing it. If I were gonna make a prediction here, Yash, I'm gonna say that StarZee is gonna do a lot of missions and do them quick.
Wow, that's a great prediction. StarZee's already at statues. I don't suspect he's going to swap immediately, but I actually think that might have been the play because I don't know if Madspy1st even knew what the statue was.
Um, honestly, I hope for his sake that he doesn't because there's really not a lot else to look at the moment. So I think that would probably have just gotten us killed. I mean, I like the idea of just going for early inspects because I mean, why not? No, and
That
going
is a
for a bug,
bug, yeah.
and that looked like a fairly natural path. Yeah, I mean, I think going for that as like basically your first like full mission is probably good because like usually the bugs, like usually you're gonna get shot for that only if you already have like another reason for the sniper to be staring you down. So
Yep.
like otherwise, I think it just looks like a fairly natural path. You might have some partial credit from some snipers, but I think more likely than not, we just got away with that.
Yeah, I think that probably could have been visible if you were staring at it, but it's hard to stare at that
In
sort
the
of
end of
thing. That's
red.
a red contact. We're a highlight at the front. But it's not. The cough isn't seen at the very least, so I think we might be fine. If anything, we might have gotten less lowlights than we should have because we missed one or two who are out on the left side. So
Yeah,
why not?
coughs can definitely kind of mess your whole process because yeah, you're kind of used to being like, okay, who's out? who's trying to hide a hard tell. But when you hear the cough, you're like, wait, who's coughing? And then you might miss all of that. So it's kind of funny how it's supposed to be a punishment, but it can work out in your favor sometimes. And looks like
Yeah.
we take a blue book out. So now we play the game of will this go back into blue?
I will say, there was a time ad before the Blue Book case, which I think was, was earlier than needed, which is way better than later than needed. So I think that's a great time ad from StarZee. Really showing that the new players do not only have good pacing, but also understand when they might run into pacing problems in the future and might need a time ad. So great job from StarZee.
Yeah, that timeout was so good that I didn't even see it. So definitely a good venue for timeouts, honestly, because there's really enough time that the sniper can't realistically look for them the entire time. And ultimately, we get shot for that direct transfer. So yeah, I mean, really, honestly, a really well played game from StarZee. Just it just kind of goes to show that Mad Spy is pretty good at tracking those books. I think that's really all it came down to.
Yeah, I think we could have probably held that book for a little bit longer, maybe flirted with Kane. Sorry, not Kane, Duke a little bit, and then ran back to that green bookshelf and slammed it at some point. But
Yeah,
still, overall, really nice.
yeah, fairly good point on holding it longer. Like against like really good snipers, you can hold it for 5 minutes and it won't make a difference. But against like most humans, like after a certain amount of time, you're just gonna be like, okay, I don't remember where you got that book from, and, and you can yeah, I guess as they say, you let it cook for a little while before returning it.
Hmm.
Um, so with that, we are still tied up. These players are quite the match for each other, and Mad Spy is going to be the first to spy on pub as Alice in three, two, one, playing it.
Amber's going to be in the doorway, crowded, so there's bug credit to at least one or two people there. But not us. We're just going to go ahead and delegate, cheese that delegate too, which I really love. Or we're highlight for it, I think.
That
Or
is
is it
an
just bar
interesting.
highlights?
I I hope it's just bar highlights because I don't know. Like whoa, what
Wow!
happened here?
Wow!
That that is very impressive. Let's see here.
Wow!
That was for the delegate. He shot for
This
the
is why
delegate.
StarZee is my top new player. That is just wow. I great shot.
Okay, so it looks like reading the chat, I think Starzy is in fact a dirty delegate cheeser, so he knew to look for that type of behavior. That really worked out in his favor because that is a huge shot to make.
Yep.
Those are the kind of shots that get in your opponent's head, and you're like, "Wow, my opponent is a god," and like, what did I even just die for? So
Yep.
yeah, I think all you can say is wow.
That is all I could that's just a great shot. It's yeah, it's a statement shot. Let's see if StarZee can follow that up with the statement spy game and
Absolutely.
break this tie that's been going on for a while.
So once again, spying as one of the twins. If I had to guess, I'll guess it's Bling again. In three, two, one, playing it.
I think you're 0 for 3 on guessing twins now.
Yeah, I think I'm just always wrong. So yeah, that's one way to remember. Just the opposite of what Hornet says, and you'll
Yeah.
always be correct. So fortunately, the ambassador does leave the danger zone. ST joins right next to us, which is like the best way to start any match.
We do
And
get
the
a bug through a person, which you said earlier you really liked, and I really like that too. It was being stared down, but I don't think that was even noticed.
yeah, that was like the perfect angle where we're basically perpendicular with the sniper, so we're leaning away or yeah, we're leaning in a direction that's just not really noticeable. So only like yeah, like sniper's only going to see that if like one they're amazing or they're just really staring us down. So yeah, this is already looking like a really good game so far for StarZee.
Yep. We've got a bug in our pockets, which I don't think is even remotely credited. We have 51% flirt. We just need to flirt, contact, and inspect. And if we do that all super fast, I think there's like zero chance we get shot in the slightest.
Yeah, and giving previous pacing, I assume that's what we're doing. So got that flirt timer on reset, and okay, so it is going to be at least a 3 flirt. So not going to be rushing it anytime soon, but still have plenty of time really. With that bug in hand, should be fairly easy to at least get to mission win countdown.
Yep. Again, this is another one of those situations where we don't need to go pedal to the metal the whole time. It's fun to do that, and it's definitely fun to watch that. But we can absolutely just sit here, finish the flirt, get a contact, just get a statue inspector, delegate, something like that, and I don't think we lose here if the bug's done crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of ways for Mad Spy to get back into this, but yeah, I don't know. Like this party's staying kind of busy enough where it's kind of holding up their attention, and I don't know. I don't think they're ever going to be in a situation where they can shoot StarZee for going to inspect unless it just kind of happens like right at Spy o'clock. So let's see. It looks like we're going in with a double agent. So a few
Yep.
people out, but I think this might still be okay, especially considering the time left on the clock. Might just have to just eat the low lights. Oh, and
That
unfortunately,
might be a situation where Mad Spy gets it first. I think that was a bug attempt, but we didn't realize we already had the bug and we panicked. Um,
yeah, I think we were yeah, either the bug attempt or just like a typical BB split where we were expecting a green, or did we green? I don't know, but
it
yeah,
was a
just
statement spy game.
yeah, that's tough because I thought that really looked like the moment where StarZee was finally going to pull ahead, but these players just still okay. So it looks like it was a white, and
Yeah,
they thought it was a green. So I guess that's what causes the cough. So
yeah. I don't think.
yes,
Yeah, it's still a great game by StarZee, despite the one huge mishap that we've all been there. We've all been there. Yeah.
so yeah, still just looking very evenly matched these players, and let's see if Tan will finally be the decider. So Matt Spy will kick things off as Seek in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yep. We're AI controlled for a little bit, which I just have been going through an entire set of why that's not the best. But we are gonna green watch check. Green time ad, one of those. Um, which I do like.
Oh yeah, that's definitely good. Like if you can get away with it on Tayan, like that puts way more pressure on the sniper. Because I mean, so many players are gonna get credit for bug. Like eventually they're gonna have for progress. They're probably gonna get contact credit, and yeah, I mean it's just more time for them to go to statues and just give the sniper more reasons to shoot them. So yeah, definitely would recommend doing that if you can get away with it. And yeah, I think Spy did in fact get away with that time ed.
Mhm. Again, like I said earlier, it's way better to do a time ad before you need it than after you need it. So if you think you're gonna have any sort of pacing issues, you should absolutely consider doing a time ad like this. And it also gives us the liberty to just sit here and flirt for a minute and let other people take suspicions before we do anything. So,
Yeah, 100%. Like there's definitely yeah, I mean as you play this game, you realize like there's definitely times where it's good to time ad and times when it's absolutely terrible. So yeah, being aware of those will definitely go a long way. And yeah, like Tayan is kind of one of those venues where you can just kind of hang out and you're actually actively getting progress. And yeah, AIs are as well. So yeah, kind of like one of the times when you can actually play kind of on the more
And
passive
in the
side,
red.
but get away with it. Taking a pretty fairly strong contact as well.
yep. Two people are out, but sorry, three people are out, but one of them is the SDA, which is unfortunate. And we are gonna get highlight for real, I do believe, which is fine. We're gonna go into center statues then, which is probably just gonna make us suspect number one, unfortunately. But
Yeah, so if we're highlighting for real, and if we see someone like going straight to, another full mission after that, I think we're going to be stared down pretty hard for the rest of this match. Um, I do like the try, but I have a hard time thinking of like how we could possibly finish from here without getting shot.
yeah, there's like obviously this is Chan, so we can probably just get a good bug and we'll be fine. But also, we still have like a minute and 40 left, so we can absolutely just sit here for a little bit and do some suspicion, or just get shot. That works too.
Yeah, that was interesting. Like, I like that we kind of just took the innocent drink there because, we have the time ad. We're not in a rush. Um, so this shot is interesting to me because I think we must have gotten credited with something that we didn't do. Um,
It might just be that StarZee didn't get a good look at the list, and figures there's a good shot that there's a Perline and has to shoot Seek, and that's fine. Like it's a perfectly fine reason.
but there wasn't a Perline though.
It like if you think there could have been and you didn't get a
Okay.
good shot at it, is what I'm talking about. Like at this
Okay.
point, it's behind the shoji.
I see.
It's gonna be hard to see. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that would be the thing. Okay, so that would be the additional credit that we got was a Phantom Purloin. So that's yeah, I mean that's a little tough. It's tough getting shot for something you didn't do, but I still think it would be hard for us to finish. I think that the time ad is what would have given us a chance though, because other people are going to kind of catch up to us in terms of mission count.
Yep.
But that being said, let's go ahead and move into the next round. So StarZee is in a situation to spy for the win here. Um, looks like we are spying as Rocker in three, two, one, playing it.
That is a bug attempt. Um, Probably not the best bug the StarZee has done this set, but also I don't even know if that was visible because we're on the back of Tan. So fair enough. Can't
Yeah. Once
argue with that.
again, our ST settles right next to us. Those are always the best flirts because you're never picking up any kind of suspicion for those.
Yep.
This is a good positioning too, right by the ambassador. I think we kind of chose this because, yeah, I mean, either a bug will present itself or we can just take this briefcase and get a fingerprint later. So
I think this might be in the range where we're not posting the ambassador out, but we can still get a standing bug. It's hard to tell without like the actual bug going off, but this might be something we need to do. But if that is the case, then it's too late. Sam believes, and so do we.
yeah, I mean, it was one of those cases where I don't know. I think most people probably aren't going to take that bug because I think the angle might just be a little bit visible to the sniper. It might not be worth it. Instead of just going straight for this pair of inspects, why not? And yeah, I think probably just gonna take it slow. I guess we can't finish up our flare progress because our ST is in a full conversation.
Yep. I definitely, especially after all those games with pedal to the metal movement, I do not hate a slow game here because uh, we're probably not going to get suspected as doing a slow game here from Madspy. But we are going to do a standing bug. It was visible on the screen, the lean at least, but it doesn't seem like it was seen. So, perfectly fine.
Yeah, and I completely agree with the change of pace. I think that's maybe something that isn't used quite enough because the sniper will get very comfortable with a certain play style, and then like once you deviate from that, it can really just kind of mess with their whole rhythm. Um, but yeah, I mean, regardless, we do have that bug now, so actually it would make sense for us to just go ahead and put the pressure on the sniper. Um,
Yep.
the
We
thing
do still
is,
need to do things, yes.
we do still need to do things. I think the question, of course, is when do we do these things? uh,
Yeah.
go, going to the statues, I think we're probably the only ones, maybe, or we're at most like one of like two people that are going to have full inspects.
Yeah.
So very risky, but I mean, regardless, we're always going to have to go back to statues. So
Yeah,
might as
inspects at
well.
this point might be a little bit too late, considering that it's the last 40 seconds and the finishing inspects now is just going to get us suspected. But it's better than not doing anything, so.
Okay, and our ST settles into the conversation with the DA, so we can actually get the last two missions at once. So we're gonna get to mission one countdown. Um, yeah, let's just see if the sniper is gonna be able to take the shot.
StarZee does have to contact before a shot is needed. It's going to be a
In
white.
the
We're
red.
also being offered to, so
Oh, perfect timing, contacting right at the 10-second point, and actually there were not a lot of people in conversation at that point. Twin ends up taking the bullet. Oh, I think he did like a perfect little BB split and a little redirect. Probably kind of looked like a spy, maybe BB splitting like into a direct transfer type of situation. But yeah,
Yep.
regardless, StarZee takes it down 7-5. And yeah, very good match for both of these players.
Mhm. Absolutely. Like when I say these are good for new players, I mean this is a really good set for like a first tournament. I have not seen this much good like this set of new players that we've gotten is scary. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing some other games from it.
Yeah, if this was like a hidden cup match or something, I would never assume these are two new players. I would just be like, oh, this is someone from like Emerald or something, like with some of the
I
plays
would
they were
say
making.
I would not be surprised if Madspy1st or StarZee was guessed as like me in a hidden cup. Uh,
Yeah,
just
I
because the spies are very fun, the snipers are still solid but a little shaky. Yeah,
yeah. I
very
mean,
very nice.
yeah, I loved what I saw. Like the pacing was great, the timing was great, the creativity, like even the sniping, like was just really up to par. Yeah, great showing for both these players. I'm very eager to see how they do in the rest of their matches. I'll be watching very closely. Sure, we'll be watching many more of their matches. And yeah, with that, yeah, that was our Summer Cup Week 1 stream. And thank you everyone for joining us. And we will see you next week with some more casts.